Welcome to the Raven Space on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Raven Space News, where we talk about Baltimore Ravens news 3 times a week. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We have some great things to talk about today, including a new show. We have the regular Ravens news and the Raven Space website back up. So a lot of great things to talk about. Please subscribe to the Raven Space on YouTube for the best Baltimore Ravens content on the internet. We try hard to make the best content for you, the Baltimore Ravens fan. So again, please subscribe, please like and share this video. It helps us out greatly. Now let's go into the topics of the day. So today we're going to talk about the quarterback confidence level. We're going to talk about some casualty cut receivers that the Ravens may be able to pick up. We're going to do the fan of the week. And my favorite part, the mailbag and the comment of the day. So I'm super excited. Let's hop in to the first topic of the day. ESPN releases their quarterback confidence ranking today. Where did the Ravens rank? Now, this might make a couple of you guys sad, but ESPN ranked the Ravens as the 20th in the quarterback confidence ranking. And the reason was, Joe Flacco, the last 5 years after that Super Bowl run, Joe Flacco's been average, basically is what they said. He's averaging 20 touchdowns and 17 interceptions a season. That is literally the definition of average, right? So they ranked this 20th. And then I guess they also put us a little bit lower than some other average quarterbacks because of Joe Flacco's salary. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about. I'm not upset, right? Because, this might make you guys mad, but I'm about to be, Jason, I'm about to be your brother right now. It's the truth. I can't lie to you right now. Joe Flacco over the last 5 years has been average. Now, some injuries are into that. A weak offensive line for the past 2 years. A weak receiver core past 3 years. All that has added to that, but he has been average. And as a quarterback, being average hurts your team. And that's what's happening right now. Again, he's being an average quarterback and it's hurting us. Now, it's not all his fault. Several play callers. There's so much stuff to unpack with Joe Flacco. But I'll tell you guys, my confidence level, not very high. You guys know I do not think he can be a quarterback that can win games by himself. Now, I say every year, you get in the playoffs, anything can happen, right? And I still do believe that. But the Joe Flacco that we saw in that playoff run, I'm starting to think it can't happen again. And I don't even know if they renew Joe Flacco's contract after it expires, right? They might renew it for 2 years, 3 years. But is Joe Flacco right now, the Joe Flacco you see, really a guy that you want 5 years from now, 6 years from now? I don't know, man. And quarterbacks nowadays, they play until they're old, right? So I don't know if I want an old Joe Flacco, because if you think it's ugly now, think about when that arm strength goes away. Woo, it's going to be real ugly, right? It's going to be very ugly. And other quarterbacks have this issue. Matthew Stafford, imagine when his arm strength goes away. We saw Jay Cutler, when Jay Cutler couldn't throw that rocket no more. I mean, it gets ugly quickly. So again, I'm not confident in Joe Flacco this season. I think we need to put pieces around him to help him pick himself up. But ESPN says he's on the bottom half in the 20th in their quarterback confidence rankings. So, again, you guys let me know how you feel about this rankings. I say 20th it's not unfair. Honestly, it's not unfair. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Now we're going to go to the second topic of the day. And we're talking about some potential cap casualties the Ravens can pick up and sign at the wide receiver position. So, you guys know over the last, I would say 3 to 4 years, the Ravens have made a habit on picking receivers that other teams cut. Jeremy Maclin, Steve Smith are just some examples. Mike Wallace is another example. And part of it's good because if everything goes right, like I would say Steve Smith, everything went right? You get a high quality receiver for about 2 years, and then one of those years it's a little drop off. Now it's so that's a situation where it goes right. You got situations where it goes wrong, where you sign a receiver like a Jeremy Maclin and he gives you nada, zero, nothing, not a dang thing. And then now you have to debate cutting him. I think Mike Wallace was a good one. Mike Wallace gave you some good production for 2 years, second receiver production, but production nonetheless, more than Jeremy Maclin's giving you and more than your draft pick, Bashard Perryman is giving you. So it could be good and bad, but the biggest two names that are out there on the bubble of being cut are Dez Bryant and Jordy Nelson. Now, I'll address one at a time. If you guys know other cut casualties you think is going to happen, let me know. We'll discuss them in the future. But Dez Bryant don't got it no more. And I used to like Dez Bryant. He don't got it no more. Again, he plays for a team with a stud quarterback who can run the ball as well. With a great running back, in my opinion, the second best running back in the NFL. And he still can't beat one-on-one coverage. And, you know, sometimes he has good games, but I mean, there are some games where the man disappears and number one receivers can't disappear. That you just can't, right? You need to help your quarterback out. And I honestly do think that he is done in this league. Again, he doesn't have it. His routes aren't crisp. He can't get open anymore. And I really do find fault with him as a receiver. And if he came to the Baltimore Ravens, I would be disappointed, and I would make a feature about me ranting about how this was a terrible idea. Jordy Nelson, not as bad as of an idea, but we saw that at this point in Jordy Nelson's career, he's only as good as his quarterback, right? Now, Jordy Nelson can still run routes. Don't get me wrong. But he doesn't consistently beat corners anymore. Now, we saw with Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Rodgers is the Ravens quarterback, I would sign Jordy Nelson right now, today. I will call the Packers, say, hey, please trade. Let's do a trade. We'll get something for him. If we had Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback, right? Because Jordy Nelson performs well in those situations. However, when Brett Hundley became the quarterback after a Rodgers injury, there was a giant drop-off. Not just, like Grand Canyon level drop-off. Like a humongous drop-off. And it showed me that Jordy he can still play the game, but he needs a great quarterback to push him to those levels that we see where he's a constant third down target, right? Joe Flacco, it doesn't have it. Joe Flacco's not as good as Aaron Rodgers. So I would still be hesitant about that. Now, if Jordy Nelson came at a very good price, let's say third receiver money, he came in at that kind of price. Okay, let's give it a run. I would give it a run at third receiver money. Anything other than that, I don't know if I can take that chance on a Jordy Nelson. Again, and I am a little shell shocked that Maclin didn't work. I am a little hurt by that, and I am a little hurt that we didn't get a lot out of Steve Smith his last year. I'm hurt by that, but you got to find a way to get your receiving core to a level where Joe Flacco can thrive. And I really don't think Dez Bryant or Jordy Nelson are the answer. I believe there was a comment that said, hey, let's develop some receivers and let's do it that way. Let's get some hungry young guys. And I agree. The issue is that the Ravens have been missing on those for a long time now. So, again, when your best receiver that Ozzie has ever drafted is a third string receiver on the Eagles now, I love you, Torrey, but it's the truth. It is what it is. Torrey Smith, he may be cut as well. That's a player that I think, depending on what you do with Mike Wallace, you might want to bring him back if he still got the speed. You need a downfield threat for Joe Flacco to be his best. So you have to get one of those guys in. But if you have Mike Wallace, you really don't need him because they do the same exact thing. So now we're going to go to the next topic of the day. and this is the new show that we have coming. I told you guys about this last week, and this is called the Fan of the Week. We're introducing this new segment. Simple how it gets done. I tell you guys all the time, your opinion matters to me. Now I am putting my I don't have any money, but if I did, I would be putting my money where my mouth is. And this is how it works. In the description, there's going to be a sign-up sheet. You can sign up. You have to be able to record about 10 to 15 minutes with me on a Google Hangouts on Saturdays. We can discuss the time, whatever works best for everybody. And we'll talk. We'll talk about the recent news quickly, of course, 10 minutes. It's not the podcast, which is coming back. It's not going to be long form like that. 10 to 15 minutes. We chat it up. We talk about some of the hot topics about the Baltimore Ravens today. So, for example, if we were going to do it this week, I would ask you about the draft. I would ask you about free agents. I would ask you about performance from last season. Stuff like that. At the end, you have a chance to win a prize by answering trivia questions about the Baltimore Ravens. I know, it's fun as I don't know what. So, I'm going to ask you guys 2 questions. 2 chances, right? So, if you get the first question is going to be a hard question. The second question is going to be an easier question. You get any of them right, you win a prize. So it's going to be dope. Again, we had something like this in the past. Not as cool as this. That's the beauty of failing. You get to learn. You get to try again. So I'm excited. So please, if you want to be fan of the week, you want to win a prize by answering some Ravens trivia, go to the description of this video and fill out the form. It's a Google form, so go fill it out. I'll get it, boom, and we can start this thing up. So I'm super excited about that. If you have any questions, again, let me know in the comments below. Email us at theravenSpace@gmail.com. It'll be awesome. Now we're gonna go to the mailbag segment of the day, sponsored by our Raven Space patrons. They are the lifeblood of the Raven Space, and they help all this happen. So you guys are the best. Thank you so much. And this question comes from DC. And he asked, hey, Jason 100, what do you think about Ravens drafting other receiver prospects such as Christian Kirk and Cortland Sutton, Auden Tate, and etc.? Thank you so much for this question. And it's a great question, DC, because as I mentioned earlier in the show, theravenspace.com is back online, and the first article we posted was a receiver prospect video where we talk about Christian Kirk. So go check that out, and you'll learn about Christian Kirk, receivers like Equanimous St. Brown, I think that's his name, and of course big ones like Calvin Ridley. So there's a bevy of receivers, but I'm going to be quick. I'm not going to rob you. I'm not going to just say go to the site, see you later. That's not what I do here. I answer questions from fans like you. So I think Christian Kirk is an option that I would be 100% excited with. I want right now in Baltimore, I want #1 receivers. Plain and simple as that. Okay. There's some cute guys in there who they jump back and forth and they do all this stuff. That's fine. You got to give me a #1 receiver. I think Christian Kirk and Ridley are the 2 biggest ones that have that #1 receiver quality. The thing that Christian Kirk gives you, if I remember correctly, because I have done research on Christian Kirk, if I remember correctly, he gives you a return ability that is valuable in the NFL, and it's even more valuable when you have players like Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, right? These are 2 examples. These are the first things that come to my head because I see them twice a year versus other teams. But when you have players who can go and return the ball and then give you valuable snaps on offense. Right now, the Ravens have Chris Moore and Campanaro who don't give you valuable snaps on offense. So I don't want to say you're wasting a roster spot, but you're dedicating a full roster spot to a return man. And I don't think, unless you're like a great specialist, like a Jacoby Jones or a Devin Hester, right? And even Jacoby, that's a perfect example. Early in the year, he was an elite return man. Later in the year, he gave you value on offense and on return, and really was a propeller to getting us to the Super Bowl and to win the Super Bowl. So I would say out of everyone, Stephen Riley, number one. In the first round, that's the only receiver I take. In the second round, if Christian Kirk falls to you, or I would even trade up in the second round. If you could trade up a couple of picks in the second round to get him, I say you do it because he has the potential to be a number one receiver. I honestly do believe that. And we really need help there at receiver. So that was the question. Thank you so much, DC. Now we're going to go to the comment of the day. And the comment of the day comes from Travis Terrell. And he says, Paul Richardson is okay, but he's not better than what we have already, ... So thank you for the comment. And I chose it because you're not the first person I heard say this when I did that episode. Paul Richardson, if you guys don't know, a wide receiver for the Seahawks, makes some big plays. I'm a little worried that he's only good because how good Russell Wilson is. And if you go from Russell Wilson to Joe Flacco, the production won't be the same. So I'm a little worried about that. But I'm a lot of people have been telling me he's an okay receiver, but let's not put him in the conversation with other free agent receivers that have bigger potential. So if that's fair, it's fair. So, you know, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe for the best Baltimore Ravens content on the internet. Go to ravenspace.com. Check out our latest article. We try to post an article every single day. We have a series on receivers coming out, so please check that out. Also, please fill out the fan of the week. If you have a webcam, if you have a camera, you want to be a fan of a week, you want to show everyone how smart you are about Ravens trivia, please do it. And you have a chance to win some prizes. Thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.